What is economic growth? Simply put, economic growth refers to the per capita income. This is equal to GDP, gross domestic product, divided by population. Gross domestic product is the sum of services and products produced in the economy. If a village has a population of 1,000 and produces wheat worth $200 and services such as repair of tractors, veterinary doctors, sellers, etc. valued at $800 and the village economy is self-sufficient, then the per capita income is $1. Of course, things are more complicated and there are methods to handle these. But the basic idea remains the same. What is economic development? It measures the quality of life parameters such as literacy, healthcare, life expectancy, etc. It is measured by the Human Development Index, HDI. In the words of Amartya Sen, Nobel laureate in economics, development can be seen as a process of expanding the real freedoms that people enjoy. What does a theory do? It explains the observed relations between economic variables and explains which variable affects which and can form the basis of government policies. We will have a look at only important theories starting from 19th century. We start with innovation, invention, and Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Invention refers to the process of creating a new product from ideas and starts from scratch. Early inventions were by individuals like Alexander Graham Bell and first telephone Thomas Alva Edison and incandescent light bulb. Most were also entrepreneurs nowadays. This is mostly done in government labs or private companies. But the saga of individual inventor-entrepreneur continues. Innovation is a new way of doing old things which increases social wealth. Key here is wealth. While invention may not make money, innovation is an innovation if and only if coffers of innovator are enriched. Innovation may be in product or process improvements, marketing strategies, financial institutional changes. Entrepreneur is a leader driven by economic motives, change agent. I will add in passing that there is something called Global Innovation Index. India currently, 2020, ranks 48 while China is at 14. In 2013 China ranked 14th and India 66th. Both improved but China a lot closer to developed world. Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Schumpeter's theory of innovation, sometimes referred to as theory of creative destruction. According to Schumpeter's theory, innovation leads to accelerated economic growth. Innovation reduces the cost of inputs or distribution or marketing, leading to lower costs and or greater consumer satisfaction. Old ways of doing things are replaced by better ones, giving rise to the term creative destruction. The theory explains economic growth in free market economies and not so well in less developed countries. The classical theory of economic stagnation. The classical theory reflects views of Adam Smith, Thomas R. Malthus, Ricardo, and John Stuart Mill. Smith advocated laissez-faire, as every individual acting in self-interest would want to maximize their income and therefore economy. Ricardo was the proponent of the law of diminishing returns. E.g., more labor input on same-sized farm is not going to increase output. Malthus propounded that population growth is exponential. Population growth coupled with limited resources leads to a situation of decreasing wages, and economic growth stops until there is a fall in population. Does not take technological advances into account, population growth not really exponential. Lewis' theory of economic development. Growth happens by shifting from subsistence agriculture to industrial manufacturing and service economy. The model consists of two sectors. Rural subsistence sector. High productivity modern industrial sector. Wages are low in rural sector and so manufacturing sector lures labor from rural sector, resulting in higher labor wages and increased total output in the economy because the value of goods produced is more. Industrial make profits and capital accumulates. Accumulated capital is reinvested and economic development happens. While the theory helps in understanding, there are factors, such as country's resource endowment and size, its government's policies and objectives, the availability of external capital and technology, and the international trade environment. Neocolonial dependence model. Neocolonial dependence is an indirect outgrowth of Marxist thinking, which is a subgroup of development economics. According to this doctrine, Third World underdevelopment is viewed as the result of highly unequal international capitalist system or rich country-poor country relationships. This places more emphasis on international power imbalances and on needed fundamental economic, political, and institutional reforms. They claim accelerated pace of economic growth is possible through domestic and international reforms, accompanied by public and private sector growth. Market fundamentalism. Proponents of this believe underdevelopment results from poor resource allocation due to incorrect pricing policies and too much state intervention. Developing world is underdeveloped because of the heavy hand of the state and the corruption, inefficiency, and lack of economic incentives. They advocate laissez-faire economics and let the market forces guide prices. Further liberalization, opening up, of national markets foreign investment and thus increases the rate of capital accumulation and GDP growth. Big push. Massive investment at the very outset of the process of growth. Investment in different sectors. The theory envisages the need for investment across different channels of growth so that each channel complements the growth of other by providing the necessary demand base. Planned industrialization. The theory stresses the need for planned industrialization of underdeveloped countries where agriculture is the dominant sector, which is backward and riddled with poverty. A big push to industrialization is expected to place the system on sound footing, staving off the uncertainties of agricultural production. O-ring theory of development. Michael Kremer won the Nobel for this theory. It owes its name from Space Shuttle Challenger failure. The shuttle was made up of thousands of components. However, it was the malfunctioning of the tiniest of components, the O-ring, that caused the shuttle to explode. Moral: one weak link in the production process can destroy the entire value of production. The model has implications for wages, inequality, and big push theories of development. The Hausmann-Roderick Velasco Growth Diagnostics Framework. Decision tree uses a set of hierarchical questions i.e. the next question depends on the answer to previous one. We let the originators speak with the tree. The objective is to identify the binding constraints, that is, identify why the economy is not growing. Conclusion. Development of theory that fits both developed and developing countries, as also better theories, is a work in progress.